Ladies and gentlemen, to my surprise, I am right back at you. We just had a post-game show not 15 minutes ago. But since then, some major news has broken for the New York Yankees. This originally came from John Heyman, so you got to be careful because he's the same guy that broke the Arson Judge news. But apparently Brian Hoke is confirming it. The New York Yankees have fired their hitting coach, Dillon Lawson. Now, if you go back on this channel and look at the older videos, at one point, there is a video called Yankees Hire Hitting Coach of the Future, and it's about Dillon Lawson, who many people suspected would be the next big thing in hitting. The same way that Matt Blake has been the next big thing in pitching. He has done a phenomenal job with the Yankees bullpen. Staff? But he's been great at transforming guys like Wandy Peralta. You know, he helped Jonathan Loaizaga take the next step. Clay Holmes was immediately a success with the Yankees. But Dillon Lawson was supposed to be the hitting version of Matt Blake, essentially. We talked about the system that he uses, a lot based in virtual reality, where you just identify certain strikes, certain pitches. There are, hitting machines that are, using the latest technology where they basically have holograms of the pitchers and things like that. But none of that fancy smancy shit seems to be working. And Dillon Lawson is gone. He is high. He is far. He is gone. AJC says, who was better, Marcus Timms or Dillon Lawson? I mean, you have to say Marcus Timms. He stuck around longer. But at this point, and this is something that we have said many, many times over the last several months, several years, really, there seems to be something above the hitting coaches that is going wrong. And I apologize for the sleeves. As you can tell, I was in the middle of a workout. We finished up. I took my dog for a walk. I hopped on the tonal, and I was mid-workout when I got the alert from Brian Hoke that was retweeting John Heyman that Dillon Lawson has indeed been fired. But the crux of the matter is that there seems to be something above the hitting coach level, a philosophy at play that, when filtered down, doesn't work. Now, the Yankees have been abysmal this year offensively. I'm going to pull up Baseball Reference and we can take a look at it. But he has done nothing as as the hitting coach for this offense. Right now, they're ranked among 15 AL teams. They are 14th in hits. They are 9th in runs. They are 14th in doubles. 3rd in home runs. A lot of that's Aaron Judge. 12th in walks. 5th in strikeouts, and 13th in batting average.
What?
That is how you get fired.
I'm an average nobody.
Have fun with that witness protection in Arizona there. Hitting coach of the future, no more. So, as Medina says, it may not make a difference if they use the same philosophy. This might be the scapegoat. But maybe the players had some real problems with him. But this is going to go down as an all-time blunder. They made the wrong hire. And it's cost them. And the offense has been absolutely boring this season. Boring. They just don't get enough hits. They still strike out an unbelievable amount. Alexander says, are we thanking Lawson for our home run totals? I mean, we're not great in home runs. We're 3rd. We're usually 1st. Unpopular opinion says Paul O'Neill for hitting coach. Look, if Paul O'Neill was willing to take that job, I would give it to him in a heartbeat. I would miss him in the booth, but he's a likable guy. He was part of that 90s dynasty. He knows what it's like to win. Look, this is a huge deal. This is a huge deal. Yankees typically don't fire players or fire coaches mid-season. They really wait till the offseason. They must feel like this is a problem that needs to be fixed immediately. John says the only name he cares about is Cashman. I wouldn't get your hopes up on Cashman going anywhere anytime soon. Alexander says Paulie's too intense to be a coach. I don't know if he's as intense now as he was back in the day, but I like intense coaches. This team could benefit from a little bit of intensity, I think. Junior Caroma says, how many hitting coaches have they fired? This is like the third or fourth one that I can remember. I mean, I forget who it was before Marcus Timms, but if you just Google Yankees fire hitting coach, I bet there's lots and lots of people that they've fired. I mean, other than Timms, let's see here. I mean, the Google's pulling up recent stuff, but before Timms, there was somebody else who got fired, and it's just it feels like an organizational philosophy that has been brewing, and you're just seeing the diminishing returns of an organization that is not focused on hits, on batting average, on solely on home runs is what they care about, and walks. And, everybody was talking about Dillon Lawson's approach. His big quote when he first came on was, hit strikes hard. Hit strikes hard? Isn't that a little rudimentary? Isn't that a little bit remedial? That's what they teach you in Little League. See it, get a good pitch to hit and hit it hard. You've got to be more detailed than that. And you've got to have more up your sleeve than, oh, we have some fancy machines and some iPads. I want to see somebody brought in there who actually hit Major League pitching, who was actually a good hitter. That's one of the reasons I like the Paul O'Neill quip. But, he had never had to face the velocity of today's pitchers on a regular basis. But, Kevin Long. Yeah, Kevin Long was fired. That's right. I think he got fired because he was drinking too much. Yeah. So it's just a never-ending string of, firing hitting coaches when really we should be looking at what philosophy are the hitting coaches implementing? What behind the scenes are we not seeing? By definition, it's got to be behind the scenes if we're not seeing it. But what are they preaching to these players? Now, Thursday morning, I'm going to have Eric Kratz on to talk about his new book, but we're also going to talk about hitting, and we're going to talk about the Yankees' philosophies. We're going to talk about drills and all sorts of stuff like that. And find out, does it matter who your coach is at this level? Does it matter if they faced Major League pitching? I suspect it does. Having, someone that you can go to who's been there, who's done that, who understands the struggles you go through as a Major League hitter and how to get out of them. Maybe they're going to hire Austin Wells. I mean, he fixed Anthony Volpe. You could call him up to be a catcher, and maybe he could, point out, look at the tape and point out some things that guys are doing wrong. We got the classic reel on here. Clint Frazier rocking the masks. Remember that? So I didn't have time to first of all, I don't even think I have a Dillon Lawson reel. So I just kind of, the highlights playing are what I call the classic reel, which is just classic highlights of things throughout baseball or throughout Yankee history. But, look, Alexander says it well. You need to be able to get through to the players. Whatever Dillon Lawson was doing was not getting through to the players. So that is that. It doesn't happen very often, but the Yankees have fired a coach mid-season.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And that guy would be a good hitting coach, Darryl Strawberry. But hey, it is what it is. The Yankees have decided to part ways and go in a new direction. And for one, I am happy. I am thankful. And hopefully better things to come. We'll let you know if anything else happens. I didn't expect this to happen quite so quick, but the Yankees making major moves. We'll see you next time.
Game over.
Most impressive.